Hi. I'm Lady Shasha, mistress of the snark, connoisseur of the gore, and your hostess with the mostest. Physical media, we have two physical media stories that relate to each other. The first one is about Clown in a Cornfield, the fourth book, apparently. This is Bloody Disgusting, written by John Squires, and headline reads Clown in a Cornfield 4, Lights, Camera, Friendo, exclusive cover and synopsis reveal. Because remember, Clown in a Cornfield does come from a book series. Adam Cesare's slasher franchise, Clown in a Cornfield, now includes 3 books and a feature film adaptation, and the 4th installment in the novel franchise is headed our way. Bloody Disgusting can exclusively reveal the cover artwork and synopsis for Clown in a Cornfield 4, Lights, Camera, Friendo, which will be released on August 18th, 2026. Pre-order for the 4th installment are now live on Amazon, and you can also pre-order copies signed by Adam Cesare through his local bookstore, Children's Book World. Cesare exclusively tells Bloody Disgusting there's a bunch of returning characters in this installment. For all the readers who missed these specific guys, as they mostly sat part 3 out. Here's the official synopsis for the meta 4th installment. And here, I'll scroll up so you can see the book cover while I read the synopsis. That's the book cover. And they are the Bram Stoker award-winning author. Cool. Let the Killing Continue in Lights, Camera, Friendo. It's the 4th installment of Adam Cesare's Bram Stoker award-winning series, and this time Friendo goes Hollywood, with all the blood, guts, and mayhem you'd expect from the series that spawned the blockbuster motion picture. Sabrina Alvarez is pretty much a nobody until she lands the starring role in the big-budget film based on the Kettle Springs massacre. Sabrina knows she should be on top of the world. She's going to be the Quinn Maybrook, final girl of final girls, national hero and certified badass. But as soon as Sabrina gets to Kettle Springs, she just can't quite shake the feeling that something's off. A spate of deaths, an out-of-control director, a town decimated by loss and divided by anger, and a movie designed to glorify it all. Something bad is brewing, and this time, it's all on film. There is a quote here. It says, a meditation on the villains inside us all. It's the latest installment of Adam Cesare's Bram Stoker award-winning series, Clown in a Cornfield. And the artwork for this cover is done by Matt Ryan Tobin. So, is that popcorn? I think it's meant to be popcorn over the Friendo mask. But yeah, has anyone read a Clown in a Cornfield book? I've not read any of the books in the series. So let me know if you've read it and what you thought of it. That goes for those of you watching on the replay as well. And we do have another story that is also relates to Clown in a Cornfield, and it's about physical media as well. Let me see here. CJ says those goofy police robots that write parking tickets. Yeah, I mean, there's so much you can do with Maximum Overdrive. If you were to remake it with the technology that we have today. Welcome to the Dark Side said, I never read the books before. I thought the movie was okay. Sandy says, I'm confused. So there's a Clown in a Cornfield series based from the movie? No. The books came out before the movie. There's the movie is based on the book series, but I think what they're intending to do, because there's several books, the first movie probably follows the first book, and then the sequel will probably follow the second book, and so on and so forth. Yeah, so the movie came out last year, but these books have been out for a while. Or did the book series only? Let's Google how long the let's see here. Make sure I'm giving the right information. When did the Clown in the Cornfield book come out? Okay, so the book came out 5 years ago. And the movie came out last May. which is pretty fast for a turnaround for a book series. I expected the books to be out for at least 10 years before the movie. So it is fairly recent, but the books were out first. BC says, I have a movie in my queue to watch that has a familiar looking clown on it. Haven't watched it yet. And then Sandy says, are the books geared toward adults or kids? I'm not sure. Let's see. Is Clown in the Cornfield for adults? Clown in the Cornfield is a 2020 horror novel by American author Adam Cesare and marks his first novel in the young adult genre. So it's made for teens, basically. Good question, Sandy. Yeah, so it's more teen centered. All right, and let's go with our last story, which is actually about physical media again. Clown in a Cornfield slashes onto limited edition VHS, which is kind of cool. I like that idea. Um, I believe there was a VHS for House of the Devil, if I'm not mistaken. And I feel like there was another VHS a movie came out. I want to say possibly Late Night with the Devil might have come out on VHS as well. I'm not 100% sure on that second one though. So let's get into this. Presented by Broke Horror Fan. That's me. So is Alex DiVincenzo the Broke Horror Fan? Because that's the author is Alex DiVincenzo, and then it says presented by Broke Horror Fan. That's me. Clown in a Cornfield is now available on fully functional VHS from Witter Entertainment. Based on Adam Cesare's novel of the same name, Eli Craig from Tucker and Dale versus Evil directs from a script he co-wrote with Carter Blanchard. The slasher arrives on VHS with two variants, a standard slipcase for $30 and a book box edition featuring a gatefold cover and a white tape, limited to 150 for $45. Each tape includes exclusive introductions by Craig and Cesare. For optimal VHS viewing, the film has been cropped from its original aspect ratio to 4:3 full frame. It is officially licensed from Shudder and RLJE Films and approved by Craig. In Clown in a Cornfield, Quinn and her father have just moved to the quiet town of Kettle Springs, hoping for a fresh start. Instead, she discovers a fractured community that has fallen on hard times after the treasured Baypin corn syrup factory burned down. As the locals bicker amongst themselves and tensions boil over, a sinister, grinning figure emerges from the cornfields to cleanse the town of its burdens, one bloody victim at a time. Welcome to Kettle Springs. The real fun starts when Friendo the Clown comes out to play. Katie Douglas from Ginny and Georgia, Carson McCormick from Shazam, Aaron Abrams from Hannibal, Will Sasso from Mad TV, and Kevin Durand from Abigail star. Megan Navarro wrote in her new review, quote, what begins as a straightforward slasher definitely shifts gears, tackling heady topics with infectious snark and bloodletting. It's a rare film that speaks directly to its teen audience while refusing to water down the horror. Clown in a Cornfield knows its demographic is resilient enough to handle the horror just fine. Cesare is working on the fourth novel in Clown in the Cornfield series, which we just revealed the cover artwork to. And I think this is what the VHS covers are going to look like. These two Clown in the Cornfield covers, and then they also have, they're showing that I think the tape should have been yellow like corn. Instead of white, the tape should have been yellow. That's what I would have done. I would definitely made it yellow like corn, because Clown in a Cornfield. It says view more on Instagram, because I don't think this is playable. It has a play. Oh, it is playable. Okay, so that's what that was. Just a little bumper. Okay, let's see what you guys are saying here. BC says, "Who remembers the movie Clown House? That was pretty creepy." I've heard of that movie, but I haven't watched it because I believe it's directed by Bryan Singer. And I think I was apprehensive about watching it because I think one or both of the young boys that were in the movies have said that Bryan Singer victimized them. I'll say that. And so that made me a little apprehensive about watching it knowing that that happened. Um Kiki says, with William Cat, oh yeah, House is fun with a lot of jump scares. Uh, Doc says, nice. Kiki says, I also like the Japanese movie House too. Came out in 19. Yes, Houseu. That is a wild movie. Sandy says, seems like a good read. I love the cover. Might be a good collection. I like the town's name. The town's name Kettleville. Yeah, like kettle corn. Kiki says, "Ooh, I just remembered a Toby Hooper movie about a carnival in the 80s. Oh, was that I know what movie you're talking about. Funhouse. Funhouse was a good slasher movie. It was a lot of fun. But with that, this is the last story of the night. I'm going to get out of here. I will remind everyone that in case you missed it, I did put out a Black Phone 2 spoiler review with Tony Man where we talked about all the ways Black Phone 2 homaged other slasher movies. And if you missed it earlier tonight, we talked about Your Host as well as Vleesdag, which is also known as Meat Day or Meat Kills. Both of these are bloody, gory, torture porn type movies, but they were interesting to watch. I liked one better than the other. You'll have to watch the full broadcast to know which one it was, but definitely check it out. Doc says, no, you can't leave. You must entertain us for eternity. I will say this. Know what? Let me pull this up so you guys can see because I reviewed Clown in a Cornfield. I'm gonna pull that up so you guys can see Clown in a Cornfield because I reviewed it months ago. And I think I did a pretty decent job at it too. But I don't see enough people have watched the review. I'm gonna pull it up so you guys can see it. I'll pull up videos here. Scrolling down my videos. Okay, that was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre full series review. I've done that. Hair horror stories. Oh, you guys got to check that out. I talked about so many hair horror movies or how hair is treated in Asian cinemas. It's really interesting. Another banger. 20, if I don't say so myself, I'm popping my own collar on this 28 years later video because I put my foot into that. Y'all should check it out. My Killer Clownathon, that was cool. Friday the 13th retrospective, that was a lot of fun. Morgan the Killer Doll, and Final Destination, of course. And there it is. Clown in a Cornfield, spoiler review. Although the first part of it is not with spoilers, I put spoilers towards the end, but still, great review. I put time and effort into this review. Maybe I need to change the thumbnail because it's not getting what it should have gotten as far as people watching it. But y'all should go ahead and watch that Clown in a Cornfield review. But I also put it in the in a pinned comment underneath this video so people can go check it out because I had a good time making that review and I put a lot of effort into it.